Carole Rogers, you need to come up here because you need to get some applause. While Carole Rogers, who's a very courageous board member on the Eden Township board, moves forward, I'm going to start telling you a little bit about what's going on. In San Leandro, our hospital is in peril of being closed. Have any of you heard about this? All right. So we're trying to make sure that we get the word out and do what we can to stop this. A few months back, we were a little worried because Sutter sort of had the upper hand. But just to bring you up to date, at the last open public meeting, and open is sort of something that doesn't always happen at Eden Township boards, but at the last open board meeting, the Eden Township Hospital Board voted to turn down Sutter and to refuse to sell the San Leandro Hospital to Sutter Hospital. We had three very courageous board members who made that happen. One was Carole Rogers, who is with CNA, Dr. Sani, and Dr. Harry Dvorsky. If any of you know any of these individuals, please thank them for their courage. At the last meeting, it was a closed meeting, and several people came to speak and again implore Sutter not to close down our local hospital. But they weren't even given an opportunity to address the board in a public way. Some people on the board, Carole for example, wanted to make sure the public had an opportunity to speak, but she was not even given the opportunity to take a vote on whether that meeting should be an open meeting or not. So we have geared this up. This is very important because we have 500 jobs at stake. We have the health care of the local community. We have impacts on all of the emergency rooms in the surrounding Alameda County area. And we have our brothers and sisters at CNA, our brothers and sisters at UHW, and our brothers and sisters at ILW 6 who will be harmed if these jobs go away. What we have done recently, and many of you know this, there is a pattern that Sutter has been developing throughout the Northern California area, where they come in, they take over control of a local hospital board, and then they start to pull the community assets out of the community. And they start to threaten, or do, close down local services or threaten to close a hospital. That is what's happening at San Leandro. But the board has put the brakes on for now, but they need all of your help and support. I have also joined almost 20 state legislators who wrote a letter to the Attorney General to ask them to look into this terrible pattern of closing services and closing hospitals throughout the Northern California by Sutter. And the letter has asked the Attorney General to investigate Sutter Health's misrepresentation of hospital finances. We have asked them to take a look at medical redlining that is occurring in these communities. We have asked them to take a look at their abuse of their nonprofit status. We have asked them to look into antitrust violations and misallocation of public assets. And also if there's any conflict of interest of the contracts that they have entered into. So please join with us to continue to give our energy and concern and courage to the board members as they continue in the most difficult part of this fight. They have been asked to enter into voluntary mediation, and decisions will be made over the last few months, but we're trying to do whatever we can to make sure that this hospital remains open and that these resources are available, especially in light of the fact that we're staring directly at the H1N1 epidemic that will be coming our way soon. So I just wanted to bring you up to date. I want to thank all of the elected officials, several of whom are standing on the stage, who have fought hard and who have signed this letter. I believe Assemblymember Hayashi has signed the letter. Assemblymember Tom Torlakson, who is here today, has as well. And please, whatever you can do to help us save these jobs and keep our hospital open and stop Sutter dead in its tracks and tell them you are not going to close another one of our community hospitals. Thank you all for your support.